Okay, today we are playing a game on Hanamura. We are in the Gold SR range, and we'll be playing about half the game as Reinhardt and about half the game as Toes. We are also on the console today, and this is also pre-nerf for Toes and pre-adjustments for Reinhardt. It's a buff, really. He didn't get nerfed very much. It was definitely a net positive for Rhyme. So, Roadhog's out pretty far up, as we can see, but he hasn't been punished yet, and as we always say, if you don't get punished, you have to learn. So quite a few of them went up top, so that they could teleport behind us. Now, not all of them went up there, so not all of their team teleported behind us, so this play is not as good as it could have been from them, since only half of them came in. Imagine if they were all on the same page and all teleported in. This would be significantly scarier. So we should reposition our shield while this is going on, because our shield is currently still over there pointing at the second story window, when nobody's up there anymore. I forgot to turn the pen on. There we go. Don't know why it appeared over there, but it decided to. It's right there. That's not a particularly helpful place for it to be. We could just put it, like, anywhere in here, really, so that we could hide behind it and people could start using it for cover, shield dancing, all that. It's just not being very productive over there. At the very least, it could be, like, regenerating its health or something. So, anyway, this is, and now we're getting lasered by Symmetra there, and our gut instinct was push kinetic grasp, which is not the play when someone like Symmetra is on you, but I understand. It's like when you're playing like D.Va, and then the Mei comes at you, and you're like, oh god, defense matrix, and then she just goes, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is that? And then she just freezes you, you know? I understand, it's the gut reaction. Danger happening, I want danger to go away. This button usually stops danger. Tragically not the case with Symmetra. Anyway, we got res by Mercy, so if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. Let our shield break. We don't want to let our shield break, because then it goes on cooldown, can't access it. This is the thing with all of these Sigma videos back-to-back, is there's going to be a lot of overlap in information, but currently these are the only videos I have left are a bunch of Sigma and a couple of other tanks in the same videos kind of deal. Please send more videos. I don't have very many, is the moral of this story, so we're going to hear a lot of repeating information until we get a little bit more variety in there. It's alright, we'll play Reinhardt in here sooner or later, so, you know, that's a bit of variety. So we have repositioned our shield this time, so we can actually hide behind it. It's not ideal that it's like halfway through the floor, because Toes is a pretty tall guy, so they could shoot us over the top of it, but we have not really been fighting in front of it, so it hasn't mattered overly so. So Roadhog's using the Rudy Tooty Whizbang shooting. We were not really in a position to use kinetic grasp on it, we were a little too far away. And he decided to start going for somebody else. It's the, you know, the appropriate response most of the time, but we were pretty far away. You don't really want to just throw your shield in front of Roadhog, because his ult just breaks it so quickly, you know, just kind of too far away to do much about it. I don't think we had our rock up either, but I'm not going to go back like 20 seconds to confirm if we did or not. Hey, here comes their Roadhog. It's okay, we got hooks, we got kinetic grasp, we can just walk away. It's their Junkrat that's using Riptire. Oh god, here it comes. Alright, we lived. Sick. Two people were not so lucky, unfortunately, and things are not looking so good anymore. Yeah. Two people got killed by Riptire. We almost died by Riptire, so, you know, what can you say other than aim better and break the Riptire, you know? Toes at least has the benefit of not needing to directly hit the Riptire to do damage to it, and if he does get a direct hit on it, you're pretty much going to break the Riptire. But, you know, aim better, all that. A little bit too high on the rock, unfortunate. You know, aim better, all that. So, okay, no, maybe not. D.Va's walking away. I was going to say, so they're going to come through this way, but then I just saw D.Va walking away. I like that. She, like, walked in front of the doorway and then looked in and went, nah, fuck that, bro. And then just walked off, just fully turned and walked off towards the staircase. Just didn't give a fuck. Here it comes. Oh, God. Okay, we got it. It's a scary situation to be in as Sigma when the Self-destruct is flying at you from kind of an unusual angle, but we managed to not die. Good thing we didn't let our shield break as well. It got very close. We took it down with like 46 health, and that could have been very unfortunate. But we didn't let it break, so we had it, all good. Now we don't want to be this close to Roadhog, is what I was going to say, because of that exact issue. We were also really low at the time. Like, bare minimum, you know, we can put our shield in front of this guy. Our shield is currently not up at all, even though, you know, it could be. It's regenerated to full health at this point, so, you know, we could put it between us and the Roadhog if we want. That's not really taking our broader team into account. They're fighting behind us still, but we don't want to be that close to Roadhog. Roadhog would love if we are that close to him. We can outrange Roadhog, at least slightly. His right-click covers some of it, but we don't want to be right next to the guy. Roadhog would love if we were right next to him, and generally we don't want to do things that our enemy would love if we did. So here comes Reaper, tried to throw the rock, he dodges the rock directly onto the trap. You hate to see it happen, but we've all been Reaper Bear. We've all been that Reaper before, where we've tried to escape and then gone, ah, motherfucking bear trap, Jesus Christ. Yeah, classic, play Moira, you fade away from danger and land directly on Junkrat's trap. That's always very fun when that one happens. Interesting use of Dragon Stripe, not exactly expecting it to do a huge amount, but it did still kill somebody. I've gone back here just to point out that Moira stepped on the trap, so we should put the shield in front of her. We don't want Moira to die. After all, she's got Fade, it covers some of the time she's in there, but we could cover all of the time that she's in there. Damn, she built that up again pretty fast. So we just jumped down into the ditch, and here comes Riptire. Miraculously, Mercy didn't die, so she gets to revive us. Even though I was pretty sure she was, like, right behind us, but I guess she wasn't as close, or she line of sighted it behind one of the walls. Either way. You know, we didn't die as a result. Nice. Pretty much like the best case situation for Junkrat right there. We get herded into the pit by self-destruct, and then he uses Riptire. Oh, I'm gonna get him. So we are much too far up at this point. Roadhog is much too far up, in fact. He's gone all the way into the fucking shed and has started using his ultimate. Which is, you know, a little egregious. We, of course, don't want to go and fight outside of, like, any choke points, generally speaking. But if our team is going to go out there and fight, you know, we kind of have to go with them a little bit, but we don't want to be out there. We put the shield up there to, like, inconvenience McCree a second ago, but we could have moved it, like, pretty quickly after that. McCree, like, that guy is... blah, 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 blah. They leave up there, so now the shield is blocking nothing. And now we've taken it down, but we haven't, like, repositioned it, even though, like, they're marching in through the doorway over there at us. You know, McCree started using Deadeye, so I was like, oh god, he's gonna kill, like, our whole team, isn't he? He is. So, like, we went up there to start dealing with McCree. That's not really our job to do, because if we're Toes and Roadhog, we're the main tank. We don't want to be the one that's going off on our own to try and deal with somebody that's, like, off on the side or up on the high ground by themselves. We're meant to leave the off tank to deal with that kind of situation. Because as soon as we, like, break off to go and try to deal with that situation ourselves, McCree starts using Deadeye. We're not there to, like, put our shield in front of him or use Kinetic Grasp or anything, so he just kills, like, half our team, and then it's pretty much fucked at that point. You know, we don't want to go deal with that. We need to be thinking about, like, blocking damage for our team on the point. We're meant to be trying to control the space down there, where the entire enemy team is still marching through the front door. So we have to worry about that situation more as the main tank. So we've come up here, and there was a Reaper lurking in here. You know, sometimes you don't notice that a Reaper's up there waiting for you. Life is difficult like this sometimes. It is the kind of position where once you go in there, it's kind of worth checking to see if there's a Reaper still around the corner if you're going to go up there, because even not just a Reaper, like flankers in general, like you'll come up there and you'll find somebody like Genji sat up there pretty frequently waiting to see if somebody's going to come up there. And if nobody does, hey, they're still behind you as soon as you start playing in front of the choke point, right? So it's the kind of place where if you go in there early on, it's worth checking to see if somebody's waiting for you. So we teleported onto the point. We tried to do the exact same thing they did, but we actually had our whole team with us when we did it. Tragically, theirs went better than... theirs, like, went slightly better than ours did, by all accounts, because... well, we just kind of got span on by Reaper over there. They have a Bastion, so it's very difficult for us to actually just, like, go straight through the front door. Very surprising that one actually got somebody. I would have done the same thing, but again, very surprising it killed someone. So I don't really want to just ult Mercy, you know? We might have thought we'd also get Lucio. If we could get both their supports, that'd be cool and all. I definitely get that, but I'm mostly thinking from this position, we can pretty much just walk up and start beating Mercy, and she's gonna, like, GA up to danger regardless, because she can't GA far away from us. Everybody's on the point with us, so she'll GA closer to her teammates, and we can Earth Shatter them all, maybe. We can just walk in and start beating them to death. The main reason I don't want to use Earth Shatter right now on, like, just Mercy, even if we thought we'd get Lucio as well, I'm still not, like, insanely stoked about it because there's a Bastion in the area. So I'm really hoping to, like, get Bastion and hopefully something else. Bastion I'm pegging as the most high-risk member of the enemy team right now, so I want to kill him, pretty much. And I think we could have just, like, gotten Mercy regardless. So here, we haven't got our charge. We're not going to be able to beat Mercy to death before she gets up unless we also use Fire Strike in here sooner. I always like to do the first hit, and then as soon as it makes contact, Fire Strike, because you've got the recovery period on the melee anyway, so I might as well Fire Strike in there. While waiting, you know, because you gotta wait for the melee animation recovery regardless. Either way, we gotta, like, Fire Strike a little bit faster than that to get the Mercy, because we had to actually cover some distance to get to her before we could start hitting her. And we didn't have the pin immediately to just kill her with that. Also, with Bastion on the loose, we might have to pin that guy, right? So we don't want to necessarily pin the person we Earth Shattered, unless it's Bastion. In which case, by all means. The cool thing about playing Reinhardt versus Bastion is if you can get close enough to the Bastion where you can pin him, problem solved. You're killing the Bastion. He's gonna live with 5 health because he's got armor, but then you're gonna kill the guy. You know, you're alive with 5 health, but Ryan just pinned you, so you're not super stoked about life, right? Assuming you were full health. If you're not full health, you're just dead flat out. The difficulty is getting to Bastion. It's not always particularly feasible to do, but it's surprisingly doable on quite a few maps. So this was an extremely optimistic charge. The general advice you give somebody when they're charging as Reinhardt is you want the charge to be as small a distance to cover as possible. Because when you charge from that far away, you give the enemy team a lot of time to react to you. I don't want to use Earth Shatter right now, we lost this team fight. And like Bastion was next to us. But we're like losing that team fight. I've got no illusions we're winning. I'm gonna save Earth Shatter for the next team fight. So you don't want to charge from that far away as Reinhardt, because you give the enemy team a lot more time to react to it, which is bad if they've got somebody like Orisa, because she can just walk forward and tank it with Fortify. If they've got crowd control, it makes it easier for them to react to it. And, like, they just move out of the way, right? Like, the further you have to charge, the more time you give the enemy team to react, and a lot of what you're doing as Reinhardt is trying to give people less time to react to what you're doing. This is the same reason you don't, like, jump when you're using Earth Shatter, because then you have to land before the Earth Shatter goes through, which just gives the enemy team more time to react to you using your ultimate, which we're trying to minimize as much as possible. So we changed back to Sigma regardless. Sigma's a good one to play against Bastion. You've got a shield you can shove right in his face. You can face tank him with Kinetic Grasp. He's a good one to play. Depending on the map, like, sometimes I prefer to play Reinhardt just because it's easier to get to the guy on certain maps. Like Route 66. There are a lot of ways you can get to the Bastion, whereas not necessarily feasible on somewhere like Hanamura. You have to cover a fair distance to actually get to the guy to begin with, so Toes usually ends up being better in that kind of situation. Reaper comes out, he spins, our Reaper spins slightly better, we win, hooray, we've got more time than them. Did they not finish in overtime? What did they finish with? They got, or did we... No, they finished with 52 seconds. Okay, fair enough. For some reason I thought they finished in overtime, so I was like, damn, did we not win as much as we thought? I thought I did with... I thought we did there, but no, they had time. So, now, we're going to be defending again. They've only got a minute, so they got to attack first. Yeah, somebody over there was thinking about playing Torbjorn. He's not sure what he's going to pick. Antisocial Bread has settled on McCree. Okay, fair enough. So we've got a Widow now. We're standing really far back. We're likely anticipating a teleporter play. My problem with doing this is if they don't do the teleporter play, we have immediately conceded so much ground to them instantly, right? Because now, if we're not stood up there, and if we stood back here, we've immediately conceded the entire fucking rock garden. Which is a lot of space to give up when that's the only distance they need to cover. If we're gonna sit this far back, I don't want to be playing Reinhardt, basically, because we're just sitting watching them come closer. Like, sometimes you're, like, sitting, like, bunker on the objective on this point. If you're playing, like, a bunker, you've got, like, your Orisa Toes Bastion kind of thing going on, you know? We're not doing that right now. We're a pretty close-range team, minus Widowmaker, so conceding this much ground immediately, I'm not very excited to do. It's likely in anticipation of the fact they're going to use the teleporter, but, like, we can react to that and then just move back to fight on the point again, you know? If they don't run the teleporter, I'm going to be sad about giving up all this space that we now have to try and get control of again. So I don't want to stand all the way back here, unless we're going for like a long-range bunker comp, in which case fair enough. As it stands right now, we're just playing Reinhardt, watching them walk through the gate. And we come up to try and get Reaper up here. Very optimistic attempt right there. I wouldn't have gone for it just because while we're doing that, the enemy team could be moving on the point. But they're spending a lot of time covering ground, so it ended up not mattering all that much because we got back in time to fight regardless. So, and the truly heartbreaking thing about conceding that much ground when they didn't go for the teleporter play is their tank line is really fucking weak. Because they've got Road Diva. So, like, it would have been really hard for them to walk through the gate as it stands, so us hedging our bets on the teleporter has ended up making things significantly easier for them now, because the hardest thing for them to do with their team comp would have been get through the hard choke point with no main tank. So that's the upsetting thing about what's happened. So here we've got Reaper coming in at us. Basically, we gotta try and use our shield more while we're doing this, because we're just letting Reaper chunk us the whole time as well. While you're, you know, the best thing you can do versus Reaper as Reinhardt is you swing your hammer, and the first swing is always to the right, so like, you swing it, and then you start moving to the right as well, away from the Reaper, because your hammer puts a little bit of momentum on the guy. So if you're going right, you swing left, it's gonna knock him to the left, you go right, you cover a little bit of distance, then you put the shield up after it makes contact, and you just kind of keep doing that until either Reaper kills you, you kill Reaper, or your teammates help you. You know, one of them will happen. So anyway, teamfight hasn't been going terribly in our absence, as we can see. We've arrived, we got Earth Shatter, we decide to use it on the Reaper. It's a little bit, I'm not super happy with the way we used it, even though it worked out, because we're really hoping Reaper walks around the bell. Which he did, but only just barely, actually. So, I would have rather walked slightly more to the left, so that we're definitely gonna get a line of sight on him, instead of hoping he comes around the bell. And here, you know, Moira's healing him. We don't have our charge right now. It came up, we could have pinned the guy. If we're, like, holding the button, ready for it, like, we gotta pin that guy to kill him. There's no way we kill him through Moira healing him right there. We have to pin him. It did come up before he fully got off the ground again, so we could have pinned him right there. And then we'd be alive for this situation instead. But, as we can see, didn't matter. We won regardless. Don't get punished, you don't have to learn. So, we can no longer lose, which is a very liberating feeling. The worst we can do right now is draw, which is always very exciting. I love when that happens. Hopefully we look to see if somebody's in here. Yep, we looked right in that corner. We were expecting a bad man this time. So, we've got Bastion Symmetra. Here we go. We're really up to no good. We're doing some real degenerate shit right here. So, we messed up the charge. Tragic, you know. Two of our boys just died right there. Could be better starts to this, you know. So when May's coming at you like this, you got pretty much one choice. It's try and pin May. So our charge is about to come up. She's going to move up to the left-hand side because she can't really run up to the right-hand side just because of the geometry we're standing on. So here's where we start moving to the right, away from her a little bit. She's going to come around this way. Then we try and charge and pin her. That's the best you can do when May's trying to move in on you. If you get walled off by May, for example, what they almost always do is they put the wall down and then they walk along the line of their wall to freeze you, right? You'll more often than not be able to just pin May against her own wall immediately if you just, like, turn and try to pin her once she starts walking through your shield. It's the best thing you can do. Because if you don't kill the May, she is just gonna bully you to death, basically. It's one of those things where if you're in the situation where May's freezing you, the best thing you can try and do is pin her, because you'll never win the just, like, backing up and praying game unless somebody helps you, basically. So Bastion changed to Torbjorn. Not exactly a switch I'm super ecstatic about, but it is what he has decided to do, so tragically, we have no say in the matter. I'd rather he was gonna, if he's gonna play one of the turret boys, I'd rather it was Bastion. Torbjorn's also, like, fine, Torbjorn's fine ever since they changed him. You know, he's no longer unplayably bad or anything. Not that he was ever unplayable before, but you get the idea. He's better now. But I'd still take Bastion over Torbjorn in this situation. So, tragically, oh fuck. Well, I just don't really know what the hope with the charge was. I guess get on the point and start contesting, maybe pin toes. I'm not excited to have charged there. I would have rather just been, like, swinging at somebody or, like, blocking for the team rather than just immediately charge like that before we've even, like, fully got a handle on the situation we're teleporting into. So we were blocking Bob there, you know, as you do. Our team was winning while we were dealing with Bob, and that's all you can really hope for, really. So, hey, we won. Look at that. Easy peasy. Not even close, baby. So, what we got today back here looks like much the same stuff that it always is. Yes, it is. Seth, Super Eye Patch Wolf, Little V, and Game Grumps. All good. All recommend. And Neryl. Neryl's also very good. Recommend all of these people. With the continual caveat that Seth, you could very easily be offended by Seth's humor. Watch with caution. But everybody else, no caveats attached. As long as you don't mind anime. If you're very sensitive to weeb matters, then maybe Super Eye Patch Wolf is not for you. Other than that, no problem. So, what stood out the most? Basically, like, shield stuff as Sigma, which has been the thing with, like, all the videos we've seen from this person, really, is, like, shield management has been a recurring issue throughout all of them, and it continues to be a recurring issue in this video. All of the videos were sent at the same time, so it's not like we're expecting growth in between these videos, necessarily, but, you know, much the same thing as previously. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. Please send more videos. Thank you. And I hope you found the video helpful.